Hey, Kampai! Yeah. I'm back and I'm here to talk about stuff. So actually, before I jump into today's topic, I want to give a moment to let people come into the chat, and that way we have the most people here listening to what I want to talk about today. There's some other bits of, I don't know, I guess you could just say housekeeping that I want to take care of. I'm also trying to pull up some information relevant to today's discussion that I forgot to do. So anyways, there is some housekeeping that I would like to do concerning these streams. So I'll talk about that because it's not super important, but I do want to go ahead and you might hear me to double.
There's Pat.
Yep, there we go. Ignore that. Anyways, so while I wait for people to join us here today, I want to just talk about these streams and what I want out of them going forward. You know, I had a short but very meaningful conversation with Mr. Orc, regular chatter of mine, about these streams. Now, if some of you recall, I took a short hiatus from streaming, and by short I mean it was like 4 months. I took a 4-month hiatus from streaming, and during that time I wanted to kind of rethink my streams. I didn't really do much of that. After my last stream, though, we had kind of a discussion about what I want for this stream, and I think I know what I want to accomplish with these streams. So why don't we just get that out of the way? You know, I picked that furry slop game last time, and I think that was a mistake. I picked it because it looked like kind of what we expected it to be honest. Just bad. I picked it to just show things could be bad. Things can be bad. But I think we all know that, and while it's fun to point and laugh at poorly made things that are potentially asking money out of customers, you know, Oric brought up a good point that I'd certainly agree with, is that the result is that it may lead to me feeling frustrated with the game, which means when I go into the next game, I carry that frustration with me, and I may not give it a fair chance. So you know, here's what I'm getting at, right? So when I'm doing my streams from now on, basically the intention going forward is to try to find cool games. Number one chatter's here. What up, Wrath? And Frankie's here, who's also number one chatter. We can't have two number ones. There is only one. There cannot be 1 2s. It doesn't work that way. Come on, YouTube. Make up your mind. Alright, well, anyways. So basically, going forward with the streams is that I want these streams to mainly be about discovering cool games. I'm going to pick games that look interesting to me with the hope that they might be good. I'm pretty picky about the types of games that I play. So, you know, I'm not going to like everything. In fact, I'd probably say, I'll probably still continue to find a lot of games that I just don't like. I think, I will have the majority of games that I play are just stuff that I don't click with, but at least with those, we can see what kind of interesting things competent indie devs are doing, and also maybe discover some cool games along the way. And I may not click with them, but that doesn't make them bad games. So, you know, other people might use it as a source of discovery for new games they might be interested in. And in a way, we're lifting everyone up. Kind of. I think a lot of people would disagree because a lot of people don't like harsh criticism, so they might not see it as lifting everyone up. But regardless, anyways, I think that's what I wanted to be going forward. Basically, what I'm saying is expect to see a lot less obvious garbage in these streams. I would be surprised if I go out of my way to pick that kind of stuff from now on. I think that's the plan. So anyways, that's a bit of housekeeping. That's what we're going to do with these streams. And so, yeah, I think that covers the topic. So now that we have some people here, we have Wrath here, we have Frankie here. It does say there are 3 concurrent viewers, so there must be someone else who has me on in the background, not chatting. I know you're here. I see the numbers. Don't you lie to me. Say something. I can see everything. Anyway. Okay, very clear front. Thanks. Yeah, so topic today. Actually, hang on before we get into that. Wait. Oh, shit. Hang on. This needs to be a separate window. It cannot be in the same window as the slideshow. There we go. Now will alt-tabbing work? Yes. Alt-tabbing now works. Okay, great. Perfect. That's what I want. All right. Okay, so now I'm not gonna address every comment that I get, that especially comments that disagree with me. There's plenty of people who disagree with me, don't like my opinions. That's totally fine. I'm not gonna call out every single person. Grass is on man here, highlighted right at the top, certainly had some choice words to say to me. I think he also had another comment somewhere else, although this just says I thought he had replied to him, to Is It Trash, to Woo TBM, but I don't see that reply there anymore. Did it get deleted? I certainly didn't delete it. I don't know, but it was his reply, I think, was mostly saying the same thing as his main reply to me here. So I kind of wanted to go through this, and I'm going to be addressing these points, kind of like, this is the main topic of the video. I wanted to talk about this. So I'm going to pick at some of the main points he has here. But for right now, like, I'm going to be picking at them later in this slideshow I've prepared for you. But for right now, I just want to go ahead and read through it so we kind of have enough context. So he says people like making games like Queen's Domain because it reminds us of a time when games were just fun and had soul and weren't just soulless cash grabs or hollow shells of formerly great IPs. Even FromSoft has gone down that road with Fortnite Reign. Elden Ring was fun, but was full of problems. Nostalgia bait games are out there, but Queen's Domain, by the way, this was in response to Queen's Domain, obviously, the game that I played last time, which, you know, had like the retro graphics thing you can see. Not there? Where? Here. Here, the retro graphics thing. So yeah. Queen's Domain isn't one of them. It's a game that wears its influence on its sleeves without being too derivative, which honestly a lot of heavily influenced games struggle with. It's fine to present your influences up front as long as you maintain your own identity, and I think Queen's Domain does that pretty well, as do games like it such as Lunacid and Dread Delusion, even though the latter is more Morrowind influenced. I don't know either of those games. I guess I should have looked into them. I mean, just look at the game Forastero, another game I don't know. It's clearly trying to be God Hand, but with a much more old-school Western style. Is it nostalgia bait? Maybe for some people, but it's more likely the dev just loves God Hand and knows other people do too. And more games of that style would be really fun. I never see people complain that boomer shooters like Dusk or Cultic are just Doom and Quake nostalgia bait, so why should Kingsfield get that crap? It pays to think a little more critically and not just cry nostalgia bait slop whenever you see an old style game. Buddy, really feels like you're jumping at shadows when people do that, and it always comes off extremely closed-minded. Okay. Is this that Corf combat game? No, because here he says, now that furry game, however, is absolute trash and should be deleted immediately. I'm glad we have common ground. See, we might have different opinions, but we can still agree. We can still have common ground. Okay, breakfast now to get popcorn and listen. Yep. So, okay, we all have context. I am going to be picking apart some of these lines here in the slideshow, but I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page before diving into it, right? Okay, so I have a whole slideshow prepared for you. Wow, I put in effort. Now, these are mostly just bullet points for me to talk about, but there's some pictures in there. I think only one set of pictures. Either way, don't worry about it. So, some important notes before diving into this. I gotta fucking clarify these things because the internet is the internet. People don't listen. People don't want context. People ignore important details. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there, just kind of get ahead of the upcoming criticism. So, number one, it's just an opinion. It's not taking away your retro graphics games. I am not here to take those away from you. I assure you that what I am saying now will not be seen by that many people, and even the people who do see it may not even care and may not act on it. There will still be plenty of PS1 retro-style games existing now and into the future. I'm not here to take that away from you. I'm expressing my opinion and why I don't like this trend of PS1 graphics nostalgia. Okay, next, just because a game has retro graphics doesn't make it bad. Okay, I want to make that clear. I don't like the retro graphic aesthetic, but that's just the aesthetic. And what matters to a game is how it feels to play. There are plenty of games I have enjoyed that have retro graphics. Just because they have retro graphics, it has not stopped me from enjoying those kinds of games. The same can apply to you. There could be other art styles you don't like, but hell, the gameplay is a lot of fun, so you jive with it, you know? I might not care indeed. There you go. I went back and replayed FF7 a couple of years ago. I was shocked how blocky everything was. Yeah, yes. I rate burgers 9 out of 10. This is going to sound stupid, all right? But let me give you some context. This is just to back up the previous point here that I was saying that just because a game has retro graphics doesn't make it bad. All right, hear me out. In my Discord, some of my folks here know, I occasionally go out to burger places and I eat a burger. And because I'm in Japan, you know, those are burgers that may not be available to my American brethren out there. So they want the deets. They want the deets on that burger. They want to know how good is it. And so I write a little burger review. All right, when I write my burger review, I talk about the flavor palette. I talk about how good it was, what the ingredients were, and how it made my mouth feel, you know? That kind of stuff. But there's one really important thing to me, that always knocks the burger down a point, more often than not. And that's how messy it is. Okay? A burger is a sandwich. It's meant to be eaten with your hands. Okay? So when you have to, I don't know, keep a fucking washcloth nearby and go to the bathroom afterwards to wash the slop off your hands, see, I think that's a burger not doing its job very well. It's supposed to be a sandwich. Just like the retro graphics, just because the burger is messy doesn't mean it's a bad burger. It means it loses a point on my burger rating, okay? But it's a 9 out of 10 burger, all right? A 9 out of 10 burger is still a damn good burger, okay? So, similarly, just because a game has retro graphics doesn't mean it's a bad game. It could be, in my view, a perfect game, but then it loses that 1 point. It becomes a 9 out of 10 because, well, it had retro graphics, and I just don't like that kind of thing. FF7 is an extreme case for a PS1. Yeah, that's pretty true. Everyone, FF7 looks like they got Popeye arms. Yeah. Okay, so now that we've got all that out of the way, my problem is the pickles and the tomatoes. What's wrong with you? Well, I mean, I also don't like pickles, but you know, I don't take points off for that, right? We're not here to talk about my burger rating. I was just putting context around this kind of thing, right? I can have a good burger, but still rate it 9 out of 10. That doesn't stop it from being a good burger, though. All right. Okay, so what specifically am I talking about here? Now, in general, I'm talking about all retro graphics, all of them. However, there are some caveats to that we're gonna cover, and mainly this discussion is around the PS1 nostalgia graphics. It's the main thing that started this conversation. However, I do want to reiterate, it is kind of about all retro graphics. Wow. That's a lot of games that look exactly the same. Important notes, burger 9 out of 10. Exactly. You got it. So we can see all of these games are PS1 nostalgia graphics. Now, I'm gonna give Queen's Domain here. It really wasn't quite PS1. To me, it actually more felt like early PC 3D game kind of graphics. So I'll give it credit there, but I put Queen's Domain here because that was our topic game for this discussion. So there it is. But definitely these other games are really trying to go in on that like retro feel, right? So there we go. By the way, I guess I should mention other than Queen's Domain, all of the other games I found thanks to fucking Iron Pineapple. He's a YouTuber who like finds Souls-like games. And it's crazy. It's like literally every single one of his Steam dumpster diving videos where he looks for Souls-likes you might not have heard of. There's at least one fucking indie game in there with PS1 retro graphics. When I was like trying to jog my memory on where, like, on all of the different indie games that are using this style of graphics, I just went to fucking Iron Pineapple's channel, clicked on a random video, and bam, 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 bam. I could have been putting pictures here all fucking day for this slideshow. It would have been an endless fucking slideshow of just PS1 style graphics from games. So anyways, I guess shout out to Iron Pineapple. You seem to love the fucking nostalgia PS1 graphic style or something. I don't know. Anyways. So, anything... so, what I'm talking about is anything attempting to imitate past hardware limitations. Okay? So, that's the main thing that I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying it's not just PS1. It's basically all retro graphics. Put an asterisk on that. And does it only for aesthetic reasons? That's an important clarifier there. Okay? Because we're going to cover some reasons why it's fine to have retro-inspired graphics, sort of, later on. The main takeaway is that it's only for aesthetic reasons, which is often what it comes down to for a lot of these games. Sometimes you hold a sword out in front, sometimes a little to the right, but never a lefty. Indeed. Yes. And like I said, we're primarily talking about PlayStation 1 graphics today. Let's take a moment to remember, just because a game has retro graphics doesn't make it bad. Okay? We got that? We all remember that? Okay, let's proceed. But why? But why don't I like it? Okay? Here's the important part. Okay? Trend following. To me, a lot of this comes down to trend following. Someone did it first, and a lot of people were like, ooh, yeah, I want that. And they did it. it doesn't feel like it's actually a creative decision. Now, I don't know. I don't know the developers or why they went with it, but it makes the game lack any sort of original identity. When there's tons and tons of games that are releasing with this retro inspired aesthetic, it suddenly all of them kind of blend into each other. I mean, this was my problem when I was trying to get pictures for the previous slide is, God forbid, I try to remember any of these games. They all start to kind of just run together into just one sludge. It's so much easier to remember games that have a unique identity to them. This was something I used to preach long ago in these streams when I used to have a rating system for games. It's important. It's important to make your game stand out because countless other developers are releasing games every single fucking day. So if you cannot make your game stand out in some sort of way, then you will just sink into the sea of other developers throwing their game out there. It feels like you're only doing yourself a disservice by having the retro graphics. They have a lot of plugins and templates for. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. But those plugins and templates only came about because someone, or maybe even a couple of other people, made it popular first, and then plugin developers just saw an opportunity to make money. So they did it. I'm not saying it like it's greedy or anything. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're going to offer what people want. I mean, that's why any other plugin gets developed for RPG Maker or whatever engine you're using, right? Software gets developed because there's a demand for that. So I'm not saying they're greedy for doing it, but I'm just saying that those plugins came into existence because it started getting popular and people wanted to emulate that style, but didn't want to put in the effort of making it happen themselves, that is. So because you are relying on these kind of graphics, I don't feel like it breeds any true creativity. This kind of goes back to the previous 2 points of it being trend following, and it doesn't provide the game an original identity. Because of this, there's not really a lot of creativity in it because you are just following a trend instead of creating the trend. I can imagine there's going to be some people who want to spit out the platitude of limitation breeds creativity or whatever, but I disagree with that phrase when it's just like that. You gotta tack on to that when it's enforced and not contrived. When you contrive these limitations, you are not considering, like in the case of the PS1 graphics, right? You're not actually considering what made those graphics, right? You know, there's a lot of parts to the PS1 visuals that came about because of the hardware. And you'd have to emulate all that hardware stuff. So what you wind up with is these imposed graphical styles that don't actually imitate it. It just feels like a fake facade of that. If you actually enforce the true limitations, then you might find some creativity in trying to work around things. The one thing is that also one of my problems with Queen's Domain is I couldn't fucking see shit. I had to turn off their stupid little like retro filter thing, which basically just downsampled the image to a lower resolution. I had to turn that off because the image was so muddy. It was so hard to like make out details. Also, nice to have you here, Orc. Limited, yeah, exactly. You're using Unreal Engine. The facade of nostalgia. Speaking of facades. So here's the thing, too. A lot of the developers I've found are actually pretty young. This isn't always true. This isn't a blanket statement. But, you know, when you have people who are, like, in their early 20s, they didn't even grow up. And this has always been a thing, by the way. This has always been a thing. It's not just a PS1 thing. It's just, I mean, we saw it with the 80s thing, too. You had, like, lots of 80s nostalgia from people who did not even grow up in the 80s. And I think it's weird. I can't really place my like it's so weird to like long for this time that you didn't even grow up in. That honestly, I'm gonna go boomer here. I'm gonna go all boomer on people. Like, especially with young people, I don't even think they could fucking survive the 80s. They wouldn't have their fucking iPads and their fucking iPhones. They would be bored out of their fucking mind because you don't have fucking entertainment 24/7 being blasted into your eyes. You'd have to cope with boredom. Oh my God. What is boredom? Sorry, anyways. Was that the one with the Bosches that raised FPS? I'm not even sure what you're talking about. So, of course, the facade of nostalgia is for the younger people who weren't even alive during that time. They're wanting to replicate an era that they just were not part of. Whether they are young people who are not part of that era, or they are people who are feeling nostalgic for that era, too much nostalgia is bad anyways. This is, again, going back to the 80s nostalgia craze that has just gone on for forever now. We've seen it weaponized. We've seen it used by the entertainment industry to fucking bastardize everything from the 80s. We see people who are more longing for the past, who are not making efforts to move forward. They look too much into the past to make any sort of progress on things. Life sucks now. I get it. We got fucking AI slop just fucking ruining the world. RAM prices through the roof, electricity through the roof, water being wasted, land being bought up, hardware being gone, resources being extruded from every fucking corner of the world. I get it. Life is fucking horrible right now. And I understand people who want nothing more than to retreat from the shittiness that is reality. And that's probably also why they cling to fucking chatbots or whatever, because they can't cope with dealing with the social world, where a chatbot provides them some sycophancy of, of some fake form of happiness. Somehow Palpatine is returned. AI clankers talking about growing up playing classic arcade games. Funny. Here's the thing. Too much nostalgia is bad. Keep those memories. Keep them warm. Keep them close to your heart. But don't just shelter yourself in them. Because people are going to use that. The entertainment industry is going to fucking warp and pervert that into just something gross and awful that we don't want. I have a great quote here. I love this quote. It isn't necessary to imagine the world ending in fire or ice. There are two other possibilities. One is paperwork. The other is nostalgia. Eventually, within the next quarter of a century, the nostalgia cycles will be so close together that people will not be able to take a step without being nostalgic for the one they just took. At that point, everything stops. Death by nostalgia. Frank Zappa. So that's the thing. This is why part of me, like a lot of the retro graphic stuff also really rubs me the wrong way. It feels like it doesn't really feel like it's not attempting to move forward. It's cowering in the past. That's all philosophical nonsense, right? That's what makes it an opinion. You don't have to agree, but that's how it feels to me. It makes it feel shallow. Let's take a moment to remember. It's just an opinion. It's not taking away your retro graphics. Okay? All right. Now we're going to address the comment. So, this goes back to the Grass is On guy here, where he said people like making games like Queen's Domain because it reminds us of a time when games were just fun and had soul and weren't soulless cash grabs or hollow shells of formerly great IPs. Formerly great IPs, they are formerly great because of nostalgia. Okay? As long as that these companies think that they can make money off of those formerly great IPs, they're going to keep making them for the least amount of money possible to appeal to the most amount of people. That is how it gets warped and perverted. Nostalgia. This also ignores countless of great games that don't live in the past. This is such a gross blanket statement, right? To me, it's crazy what how much of just it misses the mark with this point, right? In this year alone, 2025, we had Hollow Knight Silksong release, we had Expedition 33 release, we had Hades 2 release. Okay, none of these games have nostalgic graphics. They have their own art design, their own art direction, right? They are not relying on nostalgia to carry the game. They're not relying on these retro graphics to carry the game. They are able to stand up on their own without needing any of that. Yes, there are a lot of shitty games being pumped out by the AAA industry. However, AA and especially indies have been killing it. So, this is ignoring that. I don't know, games back then have been great despite, not because of the graphics. Yeah, I never understood the notion of let's slap a PS1 filter on it, looks bad. Yes, man, yes, exactly. And this was something that I hope I put in here. I might be in the next slide. I forgot what I put in this slideshow. But this is one of the points I wanted to make as well, is that the graphics of the PS1, N64, whatever, that was a result of hardware limitations. That wasn't a choice. That was something that was required of them. They had to make the great game fit within crappy hardware and low resolutions. And that's just the result of what came out. The games, as you put it, were great despite the graphics, not because of them. This sentiment can also be applied to most of the remaining points. So I kind of have a point about the Fort Night Rain here. Like, I'm not interested in playing Night Rain, and I think there's a lot of people who are not interested in playing Night Rain. But from what I understand, there's still a pretty dedicated following for the game, right? Just because you don't jive with it doesn't mean that it was soulless nor a cash grab. It was released as a budget title too. It was clearly an experiment that just the FromSoft wanted to test out just for fun. From what I recall too, it was not directed by what is the director's name? I forget his name. The guy who's directed like all the Souls games. He didn't direct this. This was like one of his underlings who's like, hey, can I take some Elden Ring assets and make this? And he was like, yeah, man, do it. To me, actually, that's pretty cool. Even if you don't jive with the game, you know how much in the AAA industry experimentation like that has just fallen by the wayside? There are very few AAA publishers who are willing to do that. I think Capcom is like one of the only other AAA publishers who like occasionally just throws a wild experimental game out there, because why not? What is that new one that's coming out that's like hacking third-person shooting? It's like wild. Honestly, I saw the demo for it and like the description sounds miserable. But actually, after watching the demo, I'm kind of excited for it. Pragmata here. And then like last year they put out Kunitsugami, as well, which was like a third-person tower defense action game. It was a wild experimental game. Did it hit? Was it a 10 out of 10? Fuck no. But it was. I think it's fucking cool that at least we have one fucking AAA publisher who's out there willing to take weird, wild experimental risks like this. Because we don't have that many publishers who are doing that anymore. So, anyways, that's just to say, your fucking point about Night Rain, I think is pretty fucking shitty. Because it was a AAA developer who actually, you know, did an experiment. That tech would have been the new hot shit at the time. Yeah. It's also true back then, simply being 3D was groundbreaking. Exactly. Elden Ring is just Dark Souls 9. Whenever they made the same type of game before, that's what they're good at. Yes. Okay, anyways, I just wanted to call out this is such a bad take to me here. It really is. It really feels counter. It actually feels like it contradicts everything else he's trying to make in this point. Elden Ring was fun, but full of problems. Nostalgia bait games are out there, but Queen's Domain isn't one of them. Maybe. I don't know. What I do think, as I mentioned, the fucking retro filter on it. I mean, I said at the top of the stream that, like, yeah, I might not lump it into the PS1 retro style. It has more polygons than that. It'd probably be more like, I don't know, early PC title, something like that, maybe. But I do hate the retro filter on it. It makes everything so difficult to see. It has this muted, muddy palette, and then you add this low resolution to it, and then suddenly everything is just a muddy, pixelated mess. It is not an easy image to read. There's a little side quest I want to go on here. Another rant I have too, that recently in games we've had what I would call screenshot graphics. This has mostly affected like Unreal games or other like really graphically intense games, but it's not just there. I started seeing this trend happen actually back during Skyrim's original release when the ENB series kind of started hitting there. You started getting a lot of ENB modifications or whatever that like looked really pretty in screenshots. You know, you get lots of depth of field and, you know, you get lots of different contrast and dynamic range with the lighting and stuff like that. It looks nice in a screenshot. But it's terrible to fucking play. You can't fucking see anything. There's all this, like, everything's glowing and it's like way blown out. The depth of field is way too fucking deep that everything just becomes a blurry mess past 5 feet in front of you. Like, this kind of shit is everywhere and is continuing to be prevalent in, like, Unreal games especially. I like Expedition 33, but it suffered from this problem too. There are so many times they put so many lighting effects and volumetric effects that the screen just became completely unreadable. I couldn't tell what the hell was going on. There is one level in particular I remember I had such a bitch navigating because it's like there was volumetric fog everywhere, but also like bright lights. So then the light would like diffuse across the fog and get blown out and you can't see anything. It sucks. It's mostly in like really nice graphics, but you start seeing this shit too in all of these nostalgia games, right? Because now they're like trying to appeal to that nostalgia. So they're finding these like things that like capture the nostalgia in like the perfect time capsule where all the graphics have been manipulated in a way to get that certain look. And it looks good. It has that warm, nostalgic feel when you see it in the screenshot. And then you play the game and you realize everything's bit crushed and muddy and you can't fucking tell what the hell is going on. Too much bloom and depth of field blurry nonsense. Yes. The looks was one of the biggest reasons why I didn't pick it up. Can't see shit. Yeah, man. I'll Expedition 33 kind of gets a pass for me because it's not like a game that requires reaction. I don't know. There are still some times I felt really frustrated with the graphics, but that's a different topic. It's a game that wears its influence on its sleeves without being too derivative. I wouldn't know. I didn't play Kingsfield. That's fine to have your influences. We all do. I don't know what he means by which, honestly, a lot of heavily. I mean, there are. Okay, no. There are. I kind of get what he's saying. There are some games that heavily wear their influences on their sleeves and they don't hit the mark. In my opinion, I also don't like those because you're never going to capture the exact same feeling of what you are trying to emulate. You are not that team. You are not the director. You are not any of the people who are part of that team. You do not have the same magic there or the same limitations, budget, whatever. It often, to me, there are lots of games that try to recreate past favorites of mine. This kind of falls into the same nostalgia trap thing as the graphics thing as well. It's like, oh, we want more of that game, but they're not making that type of game anymore, so we're going to make it. And I don't know, it always feels so hollow and empty and just shallow. Like it's trying too hard to be that game instead of, once again, having its own identity. Much like the graphics. You want your graphics to have its own identity. You want the game to have its own identity. And I would even say there are still some instances where like original creators have come back with like Kickstarters trying to recreate that type of game, but without the IP. And again, I think that just doesn't even work, even from the creator coming back. It's very rare that I would say the original creator is able to capture the original feeling of the games that they had created. It depends on how much time has passed, but I'd definitely say when there's like a 20-year gap between the last one and the spiritual successor, they might have the director of the game themselves have probably changed and improved so much in their own lives and their own way of thinking, and they don't have the same team with them or all of the small little things that added up to create the magic that made the original version come together, that even with the original director there, they still cannot capture that essence of the game. So, anyways, I can't be a judge of that for Queen's Domain because I haven't played Kingsfield. Doesn't interest me. Maybe it feels hollow. Maybe it feels like it's doing its own thing. I don't know. I will give credit here. The one benefit of trying to bring back long forgotten IP in your own way is that it may introduce it to new audiences. That would be the one benefit. I've never played Kingsfield before, so maybe this dude's version might be the one that makes me interested in it. It didn't, but it could have been. So that's the only benefit I see of doing that. I don't know if it's going to pay off every time, though. It's fine to present your influence up front as long as you maintain your own identity. And I think Queen's Domain does it pretty well, as do games like it, such as... I mean, just look at the game. Another one I don't know. It's clearly trying to be God Hand. So here's my thing. Like, this goes back to the retro graphics thing, though. Like, it's cool. Like, if they're trying to do God Hand, then cool. Does it need to have retro graphics? I have no idea what this game is. I don't know what it looks like. I'm assuming, based on the context here, he's complaining about me complaining about retro graphics. I assume he's bringing up this point because Forestero uses retro graphics. I have no idea. Don't know the game. And what I'm saying is, it's fine if it wants to be influenced by God Hand, but does it need that retro filter? Is it nostalgia bait? I would say, here's one thing too. It's not always intentional nostalgia bait. It is people who feel nostalgic for a certain era, a certain look of games, and they want to recreate it. And a side effect of that is that it becomes nostalgia bait, whether they intended it to or not. It is baiting people into playing the game based on their rose-tinted glasses of the past. So, yeah. Maybe for some devs, but I mean, just look at it's more likely the dev just loves God Hand and knows other people do, and more games of the style would be really fun. Cool, make it. You don't need a PS1 filter to do that. I never see people complain that boomer shooters like, okay. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna skip forward here to it pays to think a little more critically and not just cry nostalgia bait slop whenever you see an old style game. Is this critical enough? I fucking built a whole fucking buddy. I'm gonna use your own words against you. It pays to think a little more critically and not just cry. Streamer just shouting the first thing that comes to his mind whenever you see a streamer talk about this kind of thing. Maybe the fucking streamer has a point, and maybe the streamer has fucking thought about this before because it's come up so many times, because I stream so many fucking games, and I watch so many videos about games, okay? Is it critical enough that I've put together this whole fucking slideshow to illustrate my point? It is, to use your own words again, feels extremely close-minded for you to assume that I'm just crying a foul because I don't like it. I mean, that is what it is. I don't like it. It is an opinion, but it's close-minded of you to not assume that a person can't have their own opinion, right? I have an opinion. I don't like it. That's what it is. Anyway, so I want to come back to this boomer shooter point here, because this is also in my... There it is. This is also in my slideshow. I never see people complain that boomer shooters like Dusk or Cultic are just Doom and Quake nostalgia bait. Well, look no further. I don't like it. That doesn't make the games bad, as I've already repeated many times now. Retro graphics doesn't mean the game's bad. Do I like the retro graphics? No. So just because they haven't seen it doesn't mean they don't exist. I don't like it. So just remember, I rate burgers 9 out of 10. All right? Let's talk about the boomer shooter problem. I like the genre, but the genre name alone is a problem. That's a discussion for another time. Please reference Frost's video here. He has a lovely video that he released very recently talking about genres needing better names. I've long thought about this myself. How do you tell someone who doesn't play games what a Metroidvania is? You suggest, hey, let's play a Metroidvania. What does that fucking tell them? You tell them, hey, let's play a roguelike. Well, what the fuck is that? You tell them, let's play a boomer shooter. What the fuck is that? You tell them, hey, I bet you might like Souls-likes. What the fuck is that? Right? We know that because we're gamers. We know our games. But if you're trying to introduce games to people, they don't know what that is. Genre names have problems. Anyways, boomer shooters suffer from the same problem as any of the other nostalgia games, right? There's lots of games that are trying to do like, what was the engine called? Holy shit, it slipped my mind. I don't remember what the build engine, I think is what it was called. The old Duke Nukem engine, right? Where you'd have like 2D sprites in a 3D world, right? There are lots of games that are trying to repeat that. I don't really like it that much in most cases. We're going to come back to that. Put an asterisk on that because we're going to come back to that. However, I'm also not a super huge fan of it there. I would give more passes to like build engine style games than some more recent boomer shooters who've been trying to ape the PS1 Nintendo 64 style, which by the way, I think I brought this up during the Queen's Domain game. But like, I would say 90% of the recent retro graphic style has mostly been PS1 and not N64, which is just wild to me. Anyways, but still, you are starting to see more boomer shooters try to emulate that style, and I don't like it there. But I will say, at least it's in the name. It's not a good name, but it's there. Boomer shooter. We know boomer is talking about the baby boomer generation. Okay, so it's right there in the name. It's telling you it's a genre that is based on the old style. What did I miss here? I'm a lot more in favor of Neo Geo style graphics when it comes to 2D retro graphics. Other than that, go nuts with full drawn ones. Oh my god, I truly explaining what a shmup to a normie that plays COD. I tried explaining what a shmup is to a normie that plays COD. I would call them arcade shooters. I don't know. I'm not here to. We're not. This discussion's not about genres. That's a topic for another time. We could probably sit here and workshop all sorts of new genre names for all of these genres. But that's not what this video is about. We would be here all day just talking about games, which might be fun. But I have other stuff planned. Okay, so when is it okay? We're going to get to those asterisks, finally. So, when it serves a functional gameplay purpose. To be honest, I don't know any examples that meet this, but we're not going to rule it out, okay? There's going to be some weird niche game where having retro-inspired graphics actually serves the function of the game. So am I getting this right? That Nolan went and prepared an entire fucking PowerPoint presentation to dissect a YouTube comment? Yes. Yes, you are getting that correct. So anyways, when it's okay, it serves a functional gameplay purpose. I don't have an example, but I'm sure there's going to be a case where that exists. Retro graphics are primarily used as a way to speed up asset creation. A way to make asset creation accessible to less proficient creators. Making an anatomically correct human is tough when you're trying to make it, realistic. Pixel humans, it's a little bit easier to do. I can do a pixel human. Will it look good? Probably not, but you'll know what it is. If I tried to draw a human, it'd either be a stick or you wouldn't know what the fuck I'm drawing. Speaking of Souls-like, in Japanese, they're often called dying games. Honestly, I think that's better. That's a better descriptor to me. I guess that just tells you that Japanese people suck at gaming. Shots fired! I've talked about this before. I talked about this in the Queen's Domain video. Anytime I bring it up, right? I understand that, sometimes doing these lower poly things, it makes it easier for people. It can, even if you're proficient at creating assets, you might, if you're by yourself, if you're a single developer, you got a lot of assets to make, then finding some sort of way to speed that up is going to be helpful. So yeah, lower poly stuff, cool, nice. And if you're not proficient at creating assets, then cool. Low poly stuff makes that much faster. I get it. However, note that low poly doesn't always mean PS1 style. There is an incredibly overly used, very popular asset pack for Unity and Unreal called the Cinti Asset Pack. Cinti makes tons and tons of assets for 3D engines. And all of them are like low poly models, but none of them look like PS1 stuff. They have their own unique style, and for an asset to be used by anyone, I think that's actually a detriment to them because it makes them very obvious. It's like, oh, obviously you're using Cinti. But anyways, Anyways, you can do low poly without doing the PS1 style. Now, also, we've mostly been talking about PS1 style and 3D. However, we haven't really addressed pixel art. Pixel art is a form of nostalgic graphics, sort of. The difference between pixel art and like PS1 graphics is that it's more of a form of rendering. Back in the day, pixel art definitely was not pixel art. It was just drawing on a low resolution CRT screen. The funny thing is that the way CRTs work tended to kind of blend and meld pixels together. I think one of the famous examples is like the waterfalls in Sonic. Like if you emulate it now on your perfect LCD monitor without any of that CRT bleed in it, then you just see these really kind of ugly, just long streaks of blue. But when you actually go back and use a CRT, you kind of realize that because there was no transparency for the original Sonic, that's how they faked transparency. When you go behind a waterfall, you can see Sonic through it. And that was created by having these long streaks of blue pixels with gaps in between them. And then because of the way CRTs work, it would just kind of blend them together, and it would create this kind of soft, kind of semi-opaque image that would, it would look transparent. It's a cool effect. And that was actually probably done on accident because they were drawing these graphics on CRTs too. They were just drawing to whatever looks right to them. Either way, to me, a lot of pixel art now is actually a distinctly modern thing. When you want pixel art to look retro, that's when you limit the palette to specific, very limited color palettes that you would find commonly on whatever platform you're trying to emulate, right? That's where the nostalgia is. And then also you throw on the like CRT filters and whatever. The waterfall is like see-through on, yeah. Cinti made RTP for Unreal, huh? Yeah, yes, they did. I challenge all 3D artists make old school 3D models that came from games that ran with these 3DFX Voodoo cards. That's an issue with dithering. It's designed to take advantage of flaws, something that was carried over to the Sega Saturn. Yeah. So that's my defense of pixel art. Now, I will say my brain being against retro graphics has persisted for a very long time. I remember back when indies were really starting to blow up quite a long time ago, early 2010s, whatever. And of course, a lot of them were pixel art. And I remember back then, I kind of felt the same way about all the pixel art games that I was seeing as I feel about all the PS1 games I'm seeing now. I think this is actually different. I think back then I was just dumb and didn't know better. I wasn't making games or anything like that. And I was, well, like I said, dumb. So, yeah, I had a crap opinion back then. And I think the difference is that, back then they were doing pixel art in the modern sense, like I just talked about. Some of them were trying to do like nostalgia, NES and SNES kind of style graphics. But for the most part, a lot of them was just pixel art because they needed to. It was efficient. It's what they could draw. It's what they're capable of doing. The difference between that and now, my hatred for PS1 retro graphics from before is that, everything I've repeated, is that it doesn't feel, the PS1 graphics only feels like it's there as an aesthetic choice. It's not because it's a limitation of whatever they're working with or their own abilities. Compare Deltarune Undertale pixel to like Castlevania on NES. I can remember the NES Belmont, but I don't think I really remember what NES Castlevania looked like. But anyways, yeah. This one's a pretty rare case for when it's okay, but it's also not impossible. We've seen some niche new consoles come out. Mainly, I'm thinking about the Playdate. But you also have, what are they called? SoCs? They're just like, it's like your Raspberry Pis and whatever. You know, you have these devices that are very limited in their hardware. So in that case, it's not too different from back when you were making games for like the PS1. You had to deal with the hardware limitations. So in that case, again, if you're targeting a specific hardware with computing limitations, it's probably okay. Again, see the note that, you know, low poly or whatever doesn't mean it needs to have the PS1 filter, though. Come to think of it, I don't remember that many Newgrounds Flash games using pixel art in early 2000s. Yeah, there's a few that would like rip sprites and stuff. I remember there's a few like I think there's one popular Flash game that was like Nintendo Battle or whatever. It was basically like cheap Smash Brothers, but on Flash. I think there's actually more than just Nintendo characters now that I think about it. I think there's even like Dragon Ball Z and stuff in it too. But either way, like all the characters are like rip sprites. So in that case, of course, it's pixel art, but they didn't actually draw the pixel art. And then maybe game sensibility matches graphical intent. In other words, it doesn't detract from the game experience, it enhances it. So this is the one point that I'm making about like games that are trying to copy the build engine aesthetic, the, you know, Duke Nukem 3D kind of style, is typically, so the build engine, or at least modern version, a lot of, I don't know specifically about Duke Nukem 3D, but a lot of games that had a similar style actually had scalable graphics. They use like vectors to render the game. So you could theoretically run those games on modern systems with modern resolutions and everything is still visible. It's not hurting the visibility. And in some cases, it's fine. It can actually make things more visible because it's obvious to see, assuming the sprite art's done well, it's obvious to see a sprite against a 3D background. So the assets stand out. You can read the image pretty clearly. Again, I'm not just like dying for games that have this art style. Sometimes it does just feel like cheap nostalgia, much like the PS1 stuff. But in this case, it doesn't feel as detrimental to the game's experience. So yeah, that's why I wouldn't say it gets a pass. It gets a meh from me. So, I do believe this is the last slide. So before closing out this discussion, I just want to reiterate one last point, okay? Retro graphics don't... Oh, sorry. Nope, this isn't the last slide. We'll get to that last slide. Okay, this is the conclusion, okay? Just going to recap everything. So, retro graphics don't ruin a game, but might harm clarity in the image. I've talked a lot about that. Fucking Queen's Domain was just... I did not like it. It was a muddy mess. Might make it difficult to stand out in a sea of other games that are also doing this style. There are so many other games that have the same style, you do not look original or unique. It feels shallow. For that exact same reason, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of effort or thought into creativity in creating your own unique identity for the game, and therefore it feels shallow because it feels like you're just chasing a trend or chasing nostalgia. Either way, it doesn't feel like it was actually a creative decision that benefits your game. And with me, it would harm your overall score. You could still get a good score, but it's not going to be a perfect score. So now, if I recall, this is the last slide. So please, let's take a moment to remember, just because a game has retro graphics doesn't make it bad. I rate burgers 9 out of 10. Thank you, Wrath. Yes. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's the end of my slideshow. Yes, I put all that together just to respond to this one guy. Here's the thing, right? I wanted to respond to him. I wanted to call him out on this because I thought it was a pretty bad take. Although I do agree with him. We do, just as a reminder, we do agree on something here. We are like-minded in this sense. That furry game is absolute trash and should be deleted immediately. So, all right. So we got some common ground. All right. He may have a bad take, but that's okay. That's what humans are. Humans have bad takes from time to time. How many times have I had a bad take on stream? I don't know. It depends on what you think is a bad take, but I'm sure there are plenty out there. That's what's nice about being a human and not a fucking clanker. That we might have difference in opinions. It's beautiful. We can disagree on things so we can discuss things. Gosh, it's nice being a human. So anyways, I did make all that basically to reply to him and his bad take. But, you know, it's something I've talked a lot about in past streams. But I think I've only brought it up, like, when I'm playing those games. And so I wanted to, like, take a moment to just, like, highlight that thought. Maybe going forward, it's probably not going to be the last time you hear me rant about it. But at least going forward, I can cut the rant shorter than usual. And I can just say, remember that time when I did the live stream where I talked about it for an hour? There we go. All right. It's all right here. Okay. Now on, I just say, man, fuck these retro graphics. Remember that live stream? And then we can move on from that. So there we go. I wanted to do this because it's making my job more efficient. I won't have to repeat myself as much. Beautiful. So with that being said, why don't we play a game? It's funny, I actually, I picked out quite a handful of games to play. But I think we're only going to get to one of them today, unless it's really bad, in which case we might play another game. But that's actually the funny thing is that the Steam sale is going on right now. Wow. And the other game I want to play is actually one that I bought. So I have one demo. That's what we're going to play next. And then if it sucks really bad, we're going to play the game that I bought that's I think is interesting and I want to talk about. But we probably won't get there. I guess all these other demos that I downloaded, they'll just wait until next time. Possibly. Anyways, Corgi Butt. Volume looks a little bit quiet. So, this is Nimbit Frontier. Why does it feel like it's running at, well, 60, okay. So it's a demo. Thank you for playing the Nimbit Frontier demo. This game preview contains only a small slice of the journey. Gameplay is locked to the first biome and lasts until the first Nimbit release. In the rare event you encounter anything strange, just open the pause menu and press unstuck, or return to the main menu to restart the day. We are a two-person developer, and your feedback means the world to us. You can leave a review on the demo page. Okay, so anyways, let's start. It looked like some sort of, I don't know, cozy monster catching game, I think. The art looked quality, but also weird. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Alice! Blaze was right. The diving bell actually came back. Ha! And here I thought it was just going to rust on the... Well, that's ominous. The... What? Did it just lay an egg? Oh. I didn't even see that. Wait a second, is that a Nimbit egg by itself? Look at it wobble, poor thing's about to hatch right here on the dock. Well, that's convenient timing. Too bad we don't have any Nimbiteers around anymore. True, Star's End hasn't seen one in ages, and we're not exactly ready to host either. Unless the Academy is graduating a new class soon, right? Oh no, I know that look. You're about to volunteer us for trouble. You're thinking what I think you're thinking, aren't you? Exactly. We'll ask the League to send one of the new rookies. Why not? Fresh out of school into the deep end, cozy little town, mysterious egg, suspicious storm. What could possibly go wrong? Then it's settled. I'll tuck this egg into the incubator before the rain ruins my hair. I'll get a message to the League. Maybe they'll even send us supplies this time. Oh, I can't wait to meet them. A young, enterprising Nimbiteer. I wonder what they'll be like. We'll find out soon enough. I was just wondering if they're gonna let you create your character. I wish there was a random button. Just hit the random. Let's call it... a PS1. Maybe we should... There we go. A PS1. That's, what is... Oh, you have... I don't know. Puppy? A PS1 bad game that I really don't want to play because I don't like the nostalgic graphics that they use in their game. It just seems shallow and it doesn't seem very well thought out. I like burgers. 9 out of 10. Yes, this is my entire name. Please make sure to address me by it every time you call me out. Every time you address me. Don't forget it, or I will be angry. How long will it let me type? Did it actually save? Oh, save everything? If I hit home. Oh. Bad game that I... Oh, it won't let me scroll. Oh, well, anyways, we gotta do it now for main character. Hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they are messy, it really doesn't jive with me well. It's a sandwich, for God's sake. It is supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. Okay. Oh, okay, well, at least it has that much. Okay, alright, I can't wait to see that. Please address my character by their name. Good evening, viewers. Nimbit fragments are appearing in record numbers across the globe. For our younger audience, Nimbits are mystical creatures that vanished over a century ago. Thanks to some daring adventurers who discovered their genetic fragments, these beloved creatures are making a grand return. These adventurers, now known as Nimbiteers, formed the Nimbit League you know today to protect and revive Nimbits. And today we're excited to introduce the latest rising star in the Nimbit world. Oh, perfect! Bad game that I really don't want to play because because, like, blah, 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 says, wait a sec, no way, that guy, isn't that the guy who copied your homework back at the academy? Seriously, that guy? I'm kind of disappointed they gave the dog a voice. The dog is going to be much cuter if it just borks. I just want a borking boy. Word is, he's already recovered more Nimbit fragments than any rookie ever, and in record time. Not only that, he's also the youngest adventurer to bring a new Nimbit species back into the world. He's been making waves with his high success rate, and now he's aiming to break... Blah! I can't tell if it's the bumpy shuttle ride or the shameless flattery, but my stomach is staging a rebellion. Listen, where we're headed, Mr. Perfect wouldn't last a day. Star's End is a place for the boldest of Nimbiteers, or the craziest. Woof, woof, woof. Hey, no need to worry. With my fastidious guidance, you'll become a master before you can say incubator. Dog's opinion on PS1 graphics. Rough. Ladies and gentlemen, and all you charming sidekicks in the back row, this is your captain, Blaze the Craze, speaking. We'll be touching down shortly. Thanks to my top-tier navigation skills, we're arriving a whole day early. Please save the applause for after we land unless you physically can't resist. And there you have it. Another beautiful landing courtesy of yours truly. Welcome to Star's End, Blaze the Craze, signing off. It's kind of funny, because a lot of it's kind of giving me, like, RPG Maker vibes. I wouldn't be surprised if this game, in an earlier stage of development, was being built on RPG Maker, or at the very least, if they're influenced by RPG Maker games. Ah, yes, the art. Are we in the right place? There's no one else here. Quite the welcome party, huh? If we're this early, we could peek at the town, but who am I kidding? To the diving bell, right behind you. I'm so excited. The Underwild, the real thing, not just the Academy simulator. Come on, let's make our first dive before anyone arrives to give us a boring orientation. Hey, your hair, did you see that? It was glowing for a sec, but that's not supposed to happen until deep into the Underwild. How deep did the diving bell go? Like the diving bell has a mind of its own. If it comes to it, I can carry you out of here. So, it's not super obvious when there's a lot of green on screen. I don't know. I don't know if it's my second monitor's colors or what. But actually, the OBS capture, I don't know. I see it there. I'm not saying it's AI art, but it kind of has the yellow piss filter like AI art. The layers of trees are weird. They're moving. But yeah, it's a bold decision to give this kind of piss warmth to all of your colors. Because that's heavily favored by AI. Again, to repeat, I'm not saying it is AI. It's just, it's got those kind of colors, and it really, it's off-putting. It gives me weird vibes. Our first mimic. Something is wrong with it. What's with that form? Is it not able to properly imitate the Nimbit it absorbed long ago? Oh, okay. Oh, it's even got... What is the dog doing? What the dog doing? It seem more aggressive than how they're depicted in class. Their real form is hideous. Right? Oh, I guess not. The last map had trees in the back on top of trees in the front. Is that so? You mean in the... before I came down? Or is this map? Can I hit that? No. Oh, does it? Oh. That's kind of weird. Maybe that'll feel better later, but right now... I kind of just want to swing in the direction that my character's facing, but it's kind of doing like a twin stick kind of thing where she attacks the way that where your mouse is relative to her. First map. Energize her whole body and phase a short distance. Oh, this got some like Hyper Light Drifter vibes, huh? That's cool, I guess. Blink dodge, yeah. I did that. I don't like that she aims where my mouse is. I just want to like, I want to position myself here with the keys and swing whatever way I'm facing. Gold! Oh, that was F2, not 2. It does it here too. Oh my gosh. Like that works for guns, but it's not a gun. Good thing the hole is the exact size of the dash. Yes. I agree. Thank God. Dash. Dive. I guess, except, I don't know. Is there like a roguelike element to it? It kind of feels like the type of game to have like some sort of roguelike element to it. Because you dive, so you like go into different runs or something. I don't know. A key. Oh. There, I guess. The forest has an elevator. Yes. Danger! Oh. You can knock it down just like... Oh. Like in Zelda. In the top-down Zelda. Oh, I'm on fire! Do I even have health? Where's the health bar? Maybe I'll get hit? This is the forest spaceman, I assume? Yes. I guess I'll get hit next time to see if, like, maybe my health pops up when I get hit. I recognize that thing. It's the diving bell's ringer. Let's ring it and take the diving bell out of here. No, wait, but I wanted to fight something. Pet the doggo. I wish you didn't talk, doggo. I guess I have to write. Damn it. Hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they are messy, it really doesn't jive with me well. It's a sandwich, for God's sake. It's supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. I am so proud to be your companion. That was amazing. There she is. Wait, stop right there. Finally, we've been searching all over Star's End for you two. Woof. We arrived a bit early, so we took a quick dive, all thanks to Blaze the Craze. Please do not call him that. Wait, what? You went down the diving bell already? Uh-oh. Is this a romance partner? Is there a romance in this game? Was everything normal? If you call skipping half the biomes and landing straight in the Viridian Landing normal, sorry, that was, well, I parsed that weird. Then sure, Blink Tech even kicked in. Oh dear, we were supposed to catch you before you dove. That bell always seemed suspicious. Yes, it's an old model from before the war, built to move itself and collect Nimbiteers as they advance, not stay in one spot. Truth is, Star's End was meant for higher ranked Nimbiteers. I'll take that as a compliment. And you think I'm a Nimbiteer for the job? I'm very sorry about the danger we put you in. What is this name? Which name? And there's also a heart with him too. What's up with that? Is it a romance? You're gonna romance the old man? I do not usually believe in fate, but perhaps it brought you here. This was not how I hoped we would meet. Allow me to officially welcome you to Star's End. I'm Yuri, the mayor of this little town, and this is Alice, League Specialist at your service. What? My name is who? My name is... We're delighted to have you here. Everyone is excited to meet our new Nimbiteer. Woof woof. Hey Yuri, I'm going to head back to the League Center and get things ready. Of course, I'll show young hi my It just happened so unexpectedly. I will show young hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they are messy, I don't really jive with them. It just really doesn't jive with me well. It's a sandwich, for God's sake. It's supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. To her new home, we have a little surprise waiting. The dogs. Hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they are messy, it really doesn't jive with me well. It's a sandwich, for God's sake. It's supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. Before your next dive, please visit me at the League Center. You'll need the equipment, especially with that wayward diving bell. It is just east of here. See you soon. Come with me. Your house is this way. No, you get to name your character and your dog, and they forgot to put a limit on it. Were you not here when I named the character? Were you not watching? They didn't limit the number of characters you could use, so I wanted to express my opinion as my name. Wanted something really unique and original. We're here. It's quite cozy and well located. I'm sure you'll find it agreeable. Inside is everything you need to get started. Come on. Welcome to your new home. The bedroom is to your left and the elevator to where you will house Nimbits to your right. I was uncovering an artifact. Is that a euphemism for how dirty your room is? But what I really want to show you is up here. Follow me. This is your hatchery. 2 incubators ready and waiting. And, well, surprise! Excuse me, is that a chick staring at me already? You guessed it, an egg turned up on its own, hatched without a Nimbiteer, and this little one popped out. I've been bottle feeding him Nimbit milk every morning, but I think he's been waiting for you. Go on, give him today's bottle. He'll know it's from his real caretaker. You obtained Nimbit milk. What if I don't, though? Wait, you haven't met the chick yet. Okay. But, are you sure? I mean, it's just a blob. It looks like Microsoft's new fucking replacement for Clippy. What is it called? Miko? Come on, I don't want no fucking AI chatbot thing. Nah. God. Okay, feed him. Oh, you can't click it? Okay. Perfect. Look at that face. He likes you already. Pretty soon, he'll be ready for a habitat. It is getting late, so I'll let you settle in. Please visit us tomorrow. The whole town is eager to see you. We do not get many new neighbors. How'd they get the milk? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Just know that it does come from the men. Female Nimbits don't naturally produce milk, as they don't have mammaries. You know where that milk comes from. I don't need to say anything else. Sperm! That's what I'm saying. Thou art required to treat the burb. Can I name it something? I already have an idea for its name. I want to name it right now. There you go. Oh, can I do it again? Oh, no. Come to the men's. So the store. Every Nimbit's father. It's part of growing up as a Nimbit. Father's always just heading to the store to get some milk. That's all. We're not quite ready for the Nimbitarium yet. At least one chick has to grow into a juvenile first. It's like Pokemon, but are we not gonna fight with the not Pokemon? Escape bot repaired. Hey. Hey, hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they are messy, it really doesn't jive with me well. It's a sandwich, for God's sake. It's supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. I don't usually bother with letters, but since you've just arrived, I suppose I ought to give you fair warning. Name's Dax. I keep to myself, but I'm the only one around here who knows how to fix bots properly. That escape bot that appears at the end of each floor, it was in a funny state after the last Nimbiteer left. Completely useless, wires everywhere, the whole thing's a mess. But I've sorted it now, so you should be able to use it to get out of the Underwild when needed. Just try not to break it again. If you do, well, best of luck down there. Extra shiny door must have been polished to the point of being a mirror. Yes. Attack! Take this! No. Dig it! Dig it up! This one? Blood. Oh. Ha! Yeah, you feeling that, duck? You feeling that? Well, you can keep spamming it too. Not as much as I thought. Build. I feel like this is... Bro, I'm gonna find the best 9 out of 10 burger lunch. Listen. Alright. Alright, you're gonna get me going on a burger rant here. Here's the thing, right? I think there's an answer, right? See, the thing is, sometimes the sauce is what, like, completes the burger. It's the glue for the flavor palette of the burger, right? It brings the whole composition together. The problem is, it's usually the sauce that makes the biggest mess. Now, I've been doing some thinking, all right? I went to a burger place. Now, I don't think this was on purpose. I think it was just, I don't know, how they stored their buns or something. But basically, the bottom bun of their burger almost kind of formed a bowl shape, right? And it was also a pretty wide burger bun. It was wide and kind of bowl shaped. And then he toasts it. And because it toasts, it gets this, you know, hard layer that becomes kind of liquid proof, I guess you'd say. It gives it structure, right? And then all the toppings and stuff go on top. This is the solution, man. This is the solution to a messy burger. Bowl buns. All right, bowl buns. The problem here was, like I said, I think that was an accident because the top bun was not bowl shaped. It was just regular bun. So you put it on top and it was a pretty stacked high burger. So you put it on top and you still got mess, right? So unfortunate, that's what it was. But it made me realize, like, I think we can have a 10 out of 10 burger that's saucy. I think we can still do it. But some entrepreneur out there has got to put in the effort of making bowl buns. Sit and listen, Nolan the master of sandwich shall show you how to get the best sandwich. Back on topic of the game, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I feel like this game has a bloated as hell scope. We saw this with that raccoon coin pusher game, where it's just like mechanic stacked on top of mechanic stacked on top of mechanic, and I'm seeing that here, right? We haven't experienced everything yet, but we've seen like bits and pieces of it, right? You got your Pokemon, you have some sort of romance system, or I assume it might not be romance. I think it might be like just affection, just like friendship or whatever. And then you have like this whole life sim stuff with like planting crops, you have managing your house, and then somewhere in there Pokemon kind of fit in, and not to mention that you also have like what might be a roguelike type of thing. This game feels like it has a tremendously bloated scope. It might be cool if it can pull it off, but as a two-person team, if I recall correctly, they said there's just 2 people working on this. As a 2-person team, that seems really difficult to do, and means either it will feel hollow and incomplete at release, or it will just spend forever in development hell, and maybe come out, 5-10 years from now. And this art, man, here, like this house, man, this house feels AI generated. I don't know what it is. There's something off about it. I can't place exactly what it is. Like, it feels like maybe they AI generated a house and then traced over it. So, like, they fixed some of the oddities. This feels kind of weird to me. Like this is a floor, right? This is a floor height. So why is this like half a floor height? So I don't know, man. This just feels like, oh. So this is one of the reasons why I actually picked it out, because I wanted to talk about the art. I don't want to point fingers. I don't want to start some witch hunt saying, you know, they AI generated stuff. But when I saw the art, I got this weird feeling, the same kind of weird, like off-putting feeling that I get when I see a lot of AI art, where it just feels like, I don't know, there's just something off. And part of it is also the piss filter too. What a fucking terrible color choice. Gosh, this is a big town too. We have to do again, fight, farm, feed. So far, that's what we've learned. This town is like, seems quite large. You have those two buildings there. Weird shrine. That's fine. But two buildings, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a sprint? What are you doing? Okay. Oh, there's 7 back there. Eight. 9. 10. Is that right? Gosh, I wish I had a sprint. Yeah, that's everything there. Yeah, this feels like it has some Animal Crossing. This is like it's all of the major Nintendo IP just squashed together. 11, 12. I guess 12 is not... Oh, 13... I think it's going to be 14, because I think there's one more near where you arrive. 14. And then your own house, which I guess will count as 15. 16. Another shop? Bro, it's wild. They have so many houses and vendors. It's just, to me, it's so many places that, again, it's scope. And also, I'm getting this feeling that, like, the game's gonna be really hard to keep track of all the mechanics. This is like, feels like first game syndrome, where they want to do all of these cool things. They didn't know where to stop, right? I don't know if it is their first game or not, but it's kind of giving me that vibe. Yeah, man. It might be a good game, like I said, if they can ever finish it, but this feels like this is some hella bloated scope. What? They said something about going into town, but did they say specifically who I'm supposed to talk to? There's so many places. I do not want to go through 15 doors. Typical RM starter town, size too freaking big. Yeah. All the art just, God, the art feels weird. I've seen like AI generated pixel art too, right? And it kind of feels like that. I think the color is like one of the major parts to it, But there's something that I don't know. Like, I see this and I can't place my finger on what it is, but it just feels off. Is there a journal? Oh, yeah, there is. After hearing your experience in the Underwild, Alice has asked you to see her at the League Center. You need to register at the League anyways. Okay, oh, I don't know where the League Center is. Is that here? Does it say? Did it say when I walked in? I didn't pay attention. No. Did it say on above? No, it's just their own font. Look at this, man. This just looks like a filter. Like, all of this kind of looks like a filter. Like, what is it called? I've played around with it. Some pixel softwares have it. Posterize. Posterize is the name of the filter. And it kind of looks like a posterized filter has been applied to some of this art because it makes it look blotchy like this. Means the center of town. It's already 5:30. Wow. Anyone in here? Hello? Who are you? Whoa, hi. Blaze is my name and Piling's my game. Cool dog. Okay. Oh, you suddenly changed clothes. Ah, a stranger. What a rare sight. You just moved in. You made a great decision. It's Veronica. Lovely to meet you. Gosh, and there's so many NPCs too. Well, probably. I don't know, but just having two in here in this one. Oh, okay. Two in this room. And I saw one outside, right? There's another one there. And they want to have, like, romance or affection or whatever for all of them. And draw art for all of them. Man, it's crazy because it's not too dissimilar from my game, but it's... And even my game, I feel like the scope is bloated. And I don't even have half the fucking shit that they have here. This turn into Stardew Valley? Maybe. I mean, there is, like, a plot of land for farming, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's some Stardew Valley-ness to it. Yes, welcome. Bet you'll like it here. See you. So, like, if they have all of these NPCs, either they're going to be shallow, empty husks, which is just not interesting to increase their affection with. Oh, there's another guy. Or they're going to spend forever. They're going to spend forever, like, preparing, like, making content. What's that? Weird. Okay. I don't know where to go. It just said... Oh. Okay. Is that everyone then? Because then that's not that bad. That's just 5. But I need to go to... None of those. Oh, there it is. Okay. Nothing there. Okay, there's only like 6 NPCs. That's more reasonable. That's actually less than my game. Of course, this isn't the final version of their game. Maybe there's more. Hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they're messy, it really doesn't jive with me well. It's a sandwich, for God's sake. It's supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. You're here. Ahem. Feels appropriate. Like they have to clear the throat every time they have to say that. Welcome to the Nimbit League. You're standing in Stars End League Center, one of the many across the world. But this one's special because you're here, of course. Nimbiteers like you are the heart and soul of our mission to bring the Nimbits back. By raising and releasing these incredible creatures, you're helping restore a lost part of our world, one we failed to protect long ago. It's a miracle that we even found their genetic fragments in the Underwild, but thanks to the League's researchers, we've been able to craft donor eggs that accept these fragments. And now, we have the ability to hatch, raise, and release Nimbits back into the wild. This particular center is dedicated to supporting you in these efforts. We normally first register you into the League, but before that, there is something else. For the depth which this diving bell goes, mimics are more dangerous and do not give up its genetic fragment so easily. They will need to be forcefully extracted with a tether. It's a bit unusual to show you before reaching the higher ranks, but we're in a unique situation here. The League approved you for the tether tech upgrade. I'm not qualified to teach you how to use it, but we have a simulator here. Please step over here and boot it up. Simulation booting up. Sorry, wait. Initiate Nimbit fragment extraction instructions. Deeper in the Underwild, mimics do not easily give up their Nimbit fragments. The Nimbit League have developed a tether to coerce the mimics into surrendering their fragments. When launched, the tether will consume a tether bind and constrict the mimic. If successful, the mimic will die and leave behind its fragment. To increase your chance of success, lower the mimic's health as much as possible without killing it before tethering. This simulation has spawned a mimic and equipped you with unlimited tether binds. Okay, right bumper. Or right mouse button. Right mouse button. Is this Recorp? Man, I never even finished that game. I haven't played that in such a long time. I think I made it like, if I recall correctly, my playtime was like 10 hours, and then I just lost interest in Recore. In the real world, your attempts will be limited by the number of tether binds you have on hand. Please acquire tether binds from your local specialist. Shutting down. You've received tether binds by 8. A gift for completing the simulator. I run the shop here where you can acquire all your Nimbiteering needs, as well as grade Nimbits when they are ready for release. Behind the door to the right, you'll also find Nimbiteer Gear Shop that gives you extra edge in that give you that extra edge in the field. Sorry, that's poof. But the big decision, that's behind me, the League Discipline Selection. To rise through the ranks of the League, you'll need to... It's like Pokemon, man. What'll it be? Is it conservation, where every detail matters, and Nimbiteers focus on raising the healthiest, strongest Nimbits possible? Discovery for Nimbiteers who live for the thrill of uncovering brand new species in the wild? Or maybe Encounter, where only the boldest Nimbiteers take on the mimics and face the Underwild head-on? The League promotes Nimbiteers by measuring their contributions. The choice will add bonus contribution opportunities and the rewards you receive every 10 levels. Whatever you choose, your path to becoming a Nimbit Master begins here, and your discipline will guide you. Choose well. Hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they are messy, it really doesn't jive with me well. It's a sandwich, for God's sakes. It is supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. I believe in you. It's like another system. Just another system right on top. Discipline of Encounter focuses on battling mimics in the Underworld. To become a master of Encounter, you must hone your combat skills until you can locate and do it. That's fine. Excellent, I've updated your league status to reflect your choice. Any progress within the league will now be recorded. Here are your league guide and Nimbit codex. On the left side is your current discipline and rank. Every 10 levels earns you a new rank. Okay. Does that matter? On the right side is the merit guide, detailing a list of tests that provide merit towards a new level. The league checks your performance every night and rewards every new level. Performing these actions is vital to becoming a master. Okay. Okay, so these are just like dailies, I guess. It's your battle pass. Select the Nimbit tab to see more about each species you've encountered. This is where you'll find care requirements for, there's care requirements for them? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 28 because it's missing 2. Yeah. Man, they just what is with this? I feel like there's been a lot of games lately that I've played that just keep stacking systems and mechanics on top of the game. Like the game doesn't know what it wants to be, but it doesn't know exactly what it wants to be, but it does know it wants to be everything. So each one of these, you need to keep track of their favorite food, their type of shelter. At least oh no, there's food types. Oh, they have a favorite food and then food type. Okay. Stardew Pokemon Core. Join Slytherin. I missed that. Remember, at the end of each day, the league will tally your contributions and reward merit based on these contributions. Earning merit will increase your level within the league. Every Nimbitier starts with the scout rank. Strive to become a master. Every Nimbitier starts with the scout rank. Strive to... Okay, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time parsing their fucking words. Gosh, holy shit. What's our motivation? Is this like our job? Yeah. We're gonna be a Nimbitier master. Gotta tether them all, gotta tether them all. Gotta tether them all, gotta tether them all. Gotta tether them all, gotta tether them all. Have you visited Endir's Emporium for some sweets before you dive into the Underworld? It was a favorite from the previous Nimbitier. Oh, good. Are there fucking, like, buffs you eat before going into, before you do a run to get, oh my god, can they, like, and here's the other thing, too. It might not even be that bad. It might not be that bad of having all these different systems and mechanics and whatever if it wasn't just so front-loaded. Like, holy shit. The number of stuff that they just introduced right at the beginning is wild. I still think it's too much, but it definitely makes it feel that much more overwhelming to have, like, all of this just shoved at you. It's in the general store tucked between the clinic and the ramen shop north of town. One more thing here. This is your starter pin. I'd recommend you equip it right away. You won't receive its benefits otherwise. What? That looks fantastic on you. Each league discipline awards their own special pins to members who show promise. Little emblems of pride, you could say. Though between us, not all pins come straight from the league. You might find a few forged, Jesus Christ, are sold by more unofficial hands. Keep an eye out for those. Anyway, best of luck out there. Hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they are messy, it really doesn't jive with me well. It's a sandwich, for God's sake. It's supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. Okay. It's late o'clock. I think I might be done with this game. Despite the challenge, obtaining Nimbit fragments is vital to Nimbit tier success. Encounter mimics in the Underwild and tether a genetic fragment. What if I just go there without the sweets? I don't want to have to read more dialogue and have another tutorial about more stuff I need to keep track of in this game. I just want to go play the game. So can I just go? Okay, alright, so not at night. No outer worlds for you? I don't know what you mean. Can I feed the little guy again? You hungry, buddy? Little Microsoft character thing. Nothing to report. Get sweets, you probably have to keep an eye on blood sugar meter. I wouldn't be surprised. What? Donadillo is growing. Boom, 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 boom. Our first juvenile. Hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they are messy, it just doesn't really jive with me well. It's a sandwich, for God's sake. It's supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. The elevator to the Nimbitarium is downstairs to the right. Onwards. What if I don't want to go there? That's a weird animation. What is going on there? Wild. I don't care about your letter. I don't care about the Nimbitarium. Just let me play the fucking game. Yeah, Viridian Landing. That's fine. Let's go. Gold. God damn it. I hate that you attack where your mouse is pointing. Gold. Stuff. Grass. Things. Stuff up. What? God, my name makes this look so much worse than it really is, too. I just wanted to play the game and I still get tutorials anyways. by deepening your bond, bad game that I really don't want to play because I don't like the nostalgic graphics that they use in their game. It just seems shallow and it doesn't seem very well thought out. I like burgers, 9 out of 10. Yes, this is my entire name. Please make sure to address me by it every time you address me. Don't forget it or I'll be angry. How long will it let me type? Did it actually save everything? Gains confidence and trust in you, unlocking its natural potential to learn new skills. Are we having a twin stick shooter? Yes, but without a gun, so it feels really bad. Maybe you take a 9-week ranged weapons course and get a bow. Get a bow later, maybe. What is this? What am I doing? Was that this? I mean, it does glow. Move around and dig from multiple directions. That's so. Oh, I see. Okay. That's weird. And why do I want to do that? It would be funny if the name Oversight was a way to troll the mischievous player. Oh gosh, he just broke through everything. Tether! No tether? Okay. Gosh, it would take so long to dig up all this stuff. It's, oh, no. I don't, no, I'm not gonna, no, thank you. Can you tether that? You can, but I didn't get anything from it. Oh, that killed it. Why did that kill it? The enemy break it. Is that the same? I think that's the same one. I got keys. What happens if I fall? Oh. Will it always get? No. Okay. Was that the escape bot? That wasn't here the first time. That bot can take us up and out of the Underwild when we're ready to leave. My nose tells me the next floor is clear of any danger though, and I bet that thing will follow us to every lift. It's supposed to anyway. When you decide to have a good enough haul, hi, my name is Burger 9 out of 10. I love burgers, but when they are messy, it really doesn't jive with me well. It's a sandwich for God's sake. It's supposed to be eaten with your hands, so it shouldn't make your hands goddamn messy. We should take the escape bot out. It's far safer than that janky old diving bell that'll show up who knows where. Oh, can I have 20? Do I want to buy that stuff? I don't know what it is. That is like a roguelike kind of thing. Man. Yeah, it is a fucking roguelike. Holy shit, man. This game is just doing everything. Could it just like pick a fucking lane? Oh, that's it? I just, okay. Surprise, burger lover. We're playing Rogue Legacy now. More shopping for items. I don't know what they do. I don't know. I think I might be done with this game. Let's see if I can get to like a boss or something. Here, break these things for me, please. No, this is so tedious. No, thank you. I just want to put this on record too, by the way. Like, only because I know this is a demo, I'm ignoring all of the gold. If I was playing this for real in my own free time, this would drive me mad. Because I would feel like I need to mine everything. God, I wish clicking would just do the thing I wanted to do. Block projectiles with your sword. Shockwaves cause damage. I guess that one. I don't know if I'm really overkilling anything, but... I guess I have gotten some health back, which now I know where my health is too. There's some weird tile problems here. I can see like 1 pixel lines here, 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 here. Why can't I dodge? This music sucks, by the way. Oh, I should have captured it. Oh, well. That's fine. Okay, this is the last one. So I think this will probably be the... What is this? Donate? Journey deeper is one fraught with danger. A delver's quality may yet be tested true. This room seeks of 4 items near. Given in respect, the depths are due. Bring muckwheat seed for access. Leave it, okay, I don't know, I don't care. Bring something to it, got it. Probably means I need to gather it from other parts of the map. So I think that's the end of the area. Why did they put the bell there and then the fucking thing down here? Come on, man. I got stuff. Wow. Okay, I'm done. It feels like first game syndrome. At least on Steam, the developer doesn't have any other game, so it may very well be their first game. The music was better with the ambient 1 note per minute style. I agree. It's good. There's no way it's released. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, there's no way it's gonna release in 2026. It would have to go into early access. I love that too, by the way. What does the developer have to say about early access? Holy shit, there's even fishing later too. Just, man. The amount of systems and mechanics in this game, I hope they pull it off, but hell yeah, this thing's gonna be stuck in early access for a fucking decade. This thing's not getting done. Yeah, first game syndrome. That's what I think it has. Guys, it's going to be huge. Huge. It's just crazy, man. Like, on the one hand, I can kind of get it. I don't want to talk too much about my own game. I've already brought it up quite enough, but like, it's been going through its own set of changes and adjustments, and a lot of that's been rethinking things, and I can feel how, like, by rethinking some parts of the game, it's like, it feels like it's necessitated creating another part to the game to answer a problem created by this or whatever. Like, and that's kind of how, like, the scope ballooning happens. My game has a lot less systems than this game, but it shares some similarities in a way. That was another reason why I picked it too, by the way. I realized that when I was looking at the storefront. It shares some similarities. So, yeah, I kind of get what the dev is going for, but to me, it feels like they just played a bunch of cool games they really liked and decided, I want all of that in my game. It doesn't feel like a lot of these, at least so far with the demo, you know, it's hard to judge so early on, but it doesn't feel like any of these systems or mechanics that they've added were implemented to answer a question or problem of one of their design decisions. It just feels like it's there because they played Animal Crossing and liked Animal Crossing, or played Stardew Valley and liked Stardew Valley. Has a million things to do, but why? Yeah, I think it's just scope creep and then letting the player wander too early. Yeah, I mean, I think this could theoretically work. I do think it would benefit a lot from cutting back on some of the bloat, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of talking, a lot of tutorials, and not a lot of gameplay in the Steam reports 67 minutes that I was playing it. So I think if you want to have all these systems, well, I don't know. You could have a lot of systems, but I would definitely introduce them much slower. I would try to balance this out. There's a lot of talking. There is a lot of talking. I would try to balance this out a lot more. Less talking, less tutorials, space it out. Like, here's a little bit of story, here's a quick tutorial, here's some gameplay. You get, you know, good 20, 30 minutes of gameplay. All right, a little more talking, another little tutorial, and then you get another 30 minutes of gameplay, something like that. I don't know. When you space it out, it makes it feel less overwhelming and feels, less burdensome. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could work. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just that this, to me, is going to be a game that gets stuck in development hell for way too long. And maybe once it's out of development hell, maybe it's good. But yeah, I don't know. Could just feels like first game syndrome. Also, I just noticed in the here in this, there's at least one more NPC that we hadn't met yet. This lady, I didn't see her on the map when I was checking out the map earlier. I don't remember any redheads on the map. So that may mean there's at least 7 NPCs. I really feel like there's likely more NPCs because there's way too many buildings. There's 16, that's including the player's home. There's 16 buildings that I counted. And I only counted 6 NPCs. So yeah, that doesn't feel quite right. There's probably going to be more. I mean, in order to populate all that stuff, there would need to be more. It's crazy. Because like my game, there's 8 buildings. There's 8 buildings in my game, and there's 14 NPCs. And that number one, having 14 NPCs that actually feel meaningful and not just like set dressing or whatever, that already it feels quite difficult to juggle and manage and make all of them feel like they are always a significant part of what's going on in the game, always a part of the story. So that's already like a big challenge to me. But then also just making the world feel alive. Also, are you kidding me? There's some sort of like make your own island for holy shit, the amount of shit in this game. Also, there's another NPC that we didn't see. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to make the town feel alive with just 14 people. Because when you think about it, 14 people is not a lot of people, right? You can go to any bar and there's probably 14 people in that bar. Unless you go at a weird time. But anyways, go at a normal time, there's like 14 people in a bar. That's including staff, by the way. And I'm trying to make 14 people make a whole town feel alive. And that's just with 8 buildings, and I think it's relatively compact, right? And this developer here has, let's say, 15 publicly accessible buildings, and a really big town, multiple screens. Man, it's going to be hard to make it feel alive. There's got to be a lot of NPCs that they're planning for this game. And that's again, just more ridiculous scope. It's not going to pay off. It's not. So, anyways, that's all I have to say. I think we got the point of today's message across. Retro game aesthetic, I don't like it. Stop doing it. First game syndrome, watch your scope creep. There we go. Those are the points. So anyways, this is going to be the last stream for this year. Wow. Because Thursday is the new year, 2026. And for anyone who's thinking that 2026 is going to be the year things get better, I have bad news for you. All of 2025 problems are going to roll into 2026. In fact, probably even more. Expect more AI slop. More of it. So anyways, I will stream next time. I don't know when that's going to be. Maybe the 4th. Maybe. All my friends all my friends are on their winter break. So, and we haven't made any plans yet other than that we'll go out. So, there's a chance I might go out, maybe travel somewhere. So I might not be available next Sunday. Who knows? But either way, as has been the case for a while now, is you'll see me when you see me. I'll stream whenever I feel like it, whenever I got time. Maybe next weekend, maybe not. Either way, I'm going to see you in 2026, where we'll be doing more streams like this. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for making it. I want to say a good 2025. I mean, here on YouTube, it's been all right. I've enjoyed you guys, my regular chatters. We haven't grown at all. If anything, maybe we've shrunk. But that's okay. Always glad to have my regular folks here. And here's hoping that maybe 2026, at least on YouTube, not the world, but at least the YouTube thing gets a little bit better. So, yeah, until next time, see you in 2026. Bye.